What is up, geeks? I hope you can hear me. We're outside, and so it might be a little bit harder to hear me, so I'm gonna try to be close up as much as I can, but of course you got to see what I'm doing. So at least the lighting is great. It looks like we got 3 people so far. So what I'm gonna start out with is the basic forward spin, and so I'll first demonstrate it, and then after that I'll take some of your questions and try to show you from different angles how to do, first of all, the basic dual wielding spin, the front spin. Okay, so we'll start with that. So I'll do it slow. So I'm basically crossing my hands over and over again. If I face the front, I'm making almost like an infinity sign in front of me. And so if I'm only using one hand, let's pretend we don't have another arm, we're just doing one arm, okay? You're doing like this, just like your basic front spin. The only difference now is you're gonna add your other arm in there. So first, I would say put your hands in this kind of position, almost like an eskrima position, right? A lot of these techniques that I'm gonna be doing is based off eskrima, which is Filipino stick fighting or Filipino martial arts. Arnis, it's also called that. Can you do a double Obi Anakin spin with 2 lightsabers? I can. And that's one of the more advanced techniques, and we'll get into that later on in the live stream. But first, I want to start out with the basic front spin. So, like I was saying before, start out with this kind of position. And there you go. You're going to go with your dominant hand first, followed by your non-dominant hand. And then you're going to cross over, and you're going to keep going like this over and over again. So let's say you start with your dominant hand, you're going to follow it up with your non-dominant, again with your dominant, and then now your non-dominant hand is going to be the one to initiate it on the other side. So you're doing the same thing that you did here, and now you're going to do it on the other side. So essentially it's 3 hits, right? So hopefully this is making sense to you guys. And by the way, I'm wearing my Rebel Alliance t-shirt. This week is, for me, I call it Star Wars week, because May the 4th is Star Wars Day. But it's also Nurses Week for those who are nurses out there. Happy Nurses Week. But anyway, I digress. So let's see, Heidi does, oh, Heki, you do Kali? Yeah, Kali, Eskrima, Arnis, it's all the same. Now, can you guys hear me well? Let me know, because I know I'm outside, so it might be harder to hear me. So please just let me know. Can you hear me right now? And if the volume is loud enough for you guys. If not, you just have to hopefully just boost up your volume. I'll try my best to project. Okay, that's good. Okay, good. Awesome. So essentially you're doing 3 hits on each side, right? So I'll do it on this, facing this way. I'm going dominant hand, non-dominant hand, followed by dominant hand. Same thing on the other side, non-dominant hand, dominant hand, non-dominant hand. So you're doing 3 hits, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right? So it's almost like in the screamer you would call it like a 6 count. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you just keep going back and forth. And it looks really cool when you're on the side, like this. You do it really fast, you can do it slow. I would suggest doing it slower first. Hopefully I don't try to, there's like bees around me, so I don't want to hit them, make them angry. But you could do it slow, you could do it fast. Okay? So that is the basic spin. So hopefully you guys got that down. If not, you can still ask me questions throughout the live stream, and also once this video is over, it will be posted on my YouTube channel, so you guys can keep on practicing this video. You'll be able to watch it over and over again. So I'm just using two basic lightsabers. I have the Obi-Wan basic lightsaber, and if you haven't seen my reviews on these, please check them out. These are my favorite lightsabers to play with. And then I have an Anakin Graflex lightsaber, a basic lightsaber. You can call it the Luke lightsaber, the Skywalker lightsaber, but this is technically the Revenge of the Sith lightsaber. You can see there with the panel. Anyway, so we did the basic forward spin, right? So we're gonna make it a little bit more advanced now, okay? So we're gonna still do a forward spin, but we're gonna connect it in the middle. So let me just demonstrate first. So as you can see, instead of me spinning them separately, I'm spinning them at the same time. So like before, I was doing like that, right? Now I'm gonna spin them at the same time, so both sides, and now I'm gonna cross over in the middle like I was saying, and then you're gonna go again. So it's like 3 hits, but you're doing all the spinning at the same time. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna cross over in the middle, and it's up to you if you want to keep using your dominant hand over, or you want to switch your hands. Like I like to switch my hands, but as you can see, if I wanted to, I could cross over with my dominant and just keep doing the same thing. Or if I could cross over with my non-dominant hand, my left hand, and just keep it like that. But I think it looks cooler if you cross both hands over and over again. So that's what I like to do. And then we'll show from the side now. It's getting sunny now, but hopefully the lighting is good. So now I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna show you a different angle. And for some reason, it always looks cooler when you see it from the side. Just because it's sunny. Let me try from this side too. And I'll go slow. So I'm spinning them at the side, crossing in the middle, spinning at the side again. And it's just a back and forth, back and forth. Okay. So far we have 9 people viewing. How is that so far? We had the basic forward spin, dual wielding technique, and we also have the more advanced cross, basic spin, forward technique, dual wielding technique as well. So far so good. Savage, you have a bad name in your name, so I can't say that, but Savage, thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. We got 12 people on the stream. So let's see. Obi Annie spin. I was actually gonna save this for the end of the video, but since this is the second person who's asking for it, we're gonna go ahead. I did post a lightsaber training video as my very first one with the Obi Annie spin, so I'll review that and then add in the second lightsaber, and it's gonna look great. This is my favorite thing to do, not only with one lightsaber, with 2. So if we're talking about one lightsaber, right, this is the Obi Annie spin, the infinity spin, I like to call it. All right, now it gets really complicated if you're gonna add another lightsaber. If you're gonna add another lightsaber, you have to time it so that way you can make it look good, basically. You won't be able to spin them both at the same time like this. I mean, technically I'm doing it like right now, and you could cross over like this, but it's a little bit awkward. Okay, so that's not really the correct way to do it. You can do it though. So you can tell that it's a little bit complicated, but it's essentially you spinning them at the same time and then crossing over it in front. And that's one variation of doing it, but I wouldn't suggest doing it this way. It does look kind of cool, I guess, but I wouldn't do this personally. So what I would do is I would spin them one at a time, okay? So while I'm spinning this one in the back, I'm gonna start with this one in the front position, okay? And then while I'm spinning this one behind me, I'm gonna bring this forward. So basically I'll demonstrate it, okay? Now you have to get pretty proficient with doing it with your non-dominant hand, and that's really hard, and it takes a lot of practice. So I would probably just practice with your, let's say you're righty, try it with your left hand by itself, and then graduate to doing both at the same time. So basically that's how it looks like, and it looks a lot better than the other variation that I was doing earlier. I think I like this one better. If we go to the side, I think it looks a lot cooler. But I guess you can pull off the other way too, like this. But you can switch it up. So we can use a bunch of those techniques that we just went over so far. We could use the infinity spin, aka the Obiani spin, the advanced technique, the forward spin, the basic forward spin, and all together we can really do something cool. And that was just me messing around, but like if you can really blend those in together, it would look pretty cool. So let's review that infinity spin because it's kind of fast, right? So I'm bringing this forward, going back with my other one, and as I'm bringing this one back, I'm going forward with the other one. So you're just going back and forth, back and forth. And even though I'm making it I was about to say, even though I'm making it look easy while I drop it, even though I'm making it look easy, it's actually really difficult to pull this off. So don't beat yourself up if you can't do it right away. And that's basically it for the Obiani spin. You just keep practicing, and eventually what I would do, especially for the Obiani spin, since it's going over and over again, what you can do is start out really slow, right? Start out really slow and gradually increase your speed, okay? Gradually increase your speed and then get to the point where you do it until you fail. And the same thing goes with this spin. Go as fast as you can. This spin. And it's a really good workout after a while. So I was gonna do a couple other spins, but I want to see and wait if you guys have any comments or questions before we go forward. We're 15 minutes into it, so I think I'll keep on going as long as you guys are interested. That's a lot so far, even though those are just 3 spins that we went over for dual wielding techniques. There's a lot you can do with those. Now, what I'll get into is some basic strikes, if you guys are into that. Also a reverse spin, basically doing the opposite of what we were just doing before. I guess we can start with that if you guys don't have any other questions or comments, but basically a reverse spin is doing the same thing that we were just doing with this crossover, the basic crossover spin, but then reversing it, so you're going like that. You see that? It's a little bit trickier. So you'll hear me clashing sometimes. And again, it looks cooler when you're doing it on the side. So what am I doing right now? I'm spinning them simultaneously on the side, crossing over again in the middle, and then spinning them out. And you're just basically doing the same thing over and over again. And you have to kind of get a feel for it, okay? Now I'm messing up, but there we go. Okay, hold on. Let me get back into it. Nope. There we go. Okay, now I'm just it looked cool before when I was getting the hang of it, but then I started messing up. There we go, here we go. Yeah, sometimes these things you get used to doing at a certain speed, so if you try to do it slow and teach someone, it's hard. But basically I'm spinning again, right? We're spinning, spinning, and crossing over in the middle. And this one's a little bit trickier to get at a fast pace. It's really tough. You just got to keep practicing. So that one's a little bit more advanced. But then let's get into basic strikes, because now we know how to spin, we know how to look cool, but again, you know, lightsaber training is not just about looking cool and twirling, it's also about being able to defend yourself, being able to fight and spar or do whatever you want with a lightsaber. So this gets into some more eskrima techniques, because a lot of dual wielding has to do is very similar to like stick fighting, right? So although these are longer blades, you can still use the same basic principles as you would for eskrima or, you know, any other kinds of dual wielding techniques. So like what I would do first of all is to get like a nice stance going, right? For me, I like to use something like this. And let's say I'm righty, which I am. I'm gonna attack first with this hand, right? I'm gonna attack with this, follow up by this, and maybe back with this one. But I'm not just gonna stop there. I'm gonna get right into my other hand too. That's the good thing about having two-handed techniques, right? You could basically, the brightness went dim for me on the camera, I don't know why. Alright, as long as you guys can still see me, right? Hold on a second. Sorry guys. Let me know if I look like darker here. For some reason the lighting switched on me. As long as you guys can still see me. Sorry, hold on. Okay guys, sorry about that. Okay, I think we're good. Are you guys still there with me? Alright, as long as you guys can see me. I hope I didn't lose all of you. Okay, we're good. I think I lost a couple of you guys. Hopefully you guys get back into it. We're still at 19 minutes. Okay, so what I was saying before, the good thing about dual wielding is that one can always be attacking while defending at the same time, and also, you know, getting ready for your next shot. So basically, if you only had one saber, you'd have to focus on defending and attacking with that one saber, right? So you'd attack, then maybe defend, attack, defend, blah blah blah. But here you have more options. So basically I could attack first, maybe defend with this, and then attack again. So a basic like a 3 count when you're fighting, what you can do is I would go like this, 1, followed up by a 2, and then a 3, and then do the same thing on the other side. So I just finished here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's a little bit more complicated because, you know, real lightsabers are long, and so your strikes might not be as short as this. It might be swings, right? Just like we were doing before. You might be doing swings like this that are attacks, just like we were practicing with the forward spin. Or they could be short and jagged. You could switch it up by doing something like this, like an open technique. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, like that, instead of always crossing over. You could also do around your head if you want to look cool but also be defending yourself. So 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So if I was attacking using all those 3 different combinations, I'd be like this, okay? The first one, or the second one, or the third one with the overhead, right? Okay. Master AJ. Thanks, Ivan. So a lot of these things, you know, it takes a lot of, you know, months to years of experience trying to practice, but hopefully you guys are getting the hang of some of these things. I would say the most important thing with dual wielding is making sure, especially if you have lightsabers in your hands, not to hit yourself. That's one thing, which is, you know, realistically that wouldn't work out. People would be cutting their own limbs left and right. But hitting your own saber, you know, that's another thing. But yeah, being conscientious of those things, that's important, especially if you're doing like a show or something, showing off to your friends with a lightsaber. You know, you got to make sure that you're conscientious of those things. But I'm trying to think of other techniques that we can go over before we end this live stream. I hope you guys enjoyed it so far. Like I said, this will be posted on my channel after. It's going to take a couple, maybe an hour or 2 to publish, and then once it's online you could watch it over and over and review these techniques. I think you're able to slow it down too if you want to, but watching it over and over again is important, because the way I learned lightsaber techniques in the beginning was watching like episode 3 over and over again with the Obi-Wan and Anakin fight, and then of course doing a scream later on. But a lot of it, my inspiration to even do a scream came from watching episode 3 with the epic lightsaber fight. So just watching footage over and over again really helps, even if you're not like getting up and trying to do it yourself. Of course that's really important, but being able to get it into your head is important too. So just think about those things while you're trying to train. Let's see if I could fit in one more technique. Let me think of one more technique before we end this one. Let me just, you know, freestyle right now. And while I come up with a technique, maybe you guys will, oh, here we go. Reverse grip. So reverse grip is important, right? What's cool about reverse grip is that you can have one lightsaber be a normal grip and the other one could be reversed, right? So there's some options there. They can both be reverse grip. Or of course they can just be the regular grip. But I think switching it up allows for more options, right? So I have one reverse, one traditional. So yeah, someone commented saying that reverse grips are kind of reckless. It's a little bit difficult to master reverse grips, but once you do, you have a lot more options with it. So something like this, like a basic forward spin with a reverse grip, kind of reminds me of The Force Unleashed, to be honest. But you can do this, which really opens up a lot of opportunities to mix up some combos like you saw me do before. As far as doing anything in particular, I think what's important is just to kind of like diverse your style. So like for me, I think it would be cool to have one in a reverse grip, like my defending grip, because my dominant hand is my right hand, so I would use a traditional style with this other hand while I'm blocking with this. Maybe attack from below, right? While I'm blocking. So like that. Maybe follow up with a forward reverse spin and then a traditional spin. So what I did is I blocked, attacked, and then go move forward and be offensive, right? So if we're using that in real time, something like that. Slow down, block, attack, forward motion. If you guys are watching this later on and it's not live, I'm just going forward to the camera so I could watch. I could read the comments while it's going. You might not be able to read the comments though. Just saying. So yeah, that's a nice little combo right there, and that's something that I just made up on the fly right now. But as you can see, that like what I love doing in particular is like switching from reverse grip to traditional grip on the fly like that. So what I did, I do a traditional spin. Then you see these two fingers right here, move it to reverse grip, and then again with those two fingers move back to traditional grip, all within one fluid motion. So again, traditional, reverse, traditional, and now I have the option to do it with my left hand if I practice enough. Let's see another combo that I like to do. Okay. You can also block with two, and while you're blocking up, you can swipe below, right? Block up, swipe below, swipe again if you wanted to. You could block in so many different ways with two lightsabers. You could block like this. You can kind of block like this. Really get creative with it. Like this, and let's say you're blocking like this, I would push up, and then while I'm here, do something nice and fancy, hit them from behind while your back is turned. That's not practical, but that would look cool for like choreography, because with lightsabers you can either do a show with just the lights, You can do the choreography aspect of making it look cool, like martial arts, or you can do like the sparring aspect, which is more of a sport and fighting each other. There's just so many things you can do with lightsabers. So let's say if we're doing like choreography, block, stab, right? So just like we were doing before with this, and doing some kind of sequence of moves, I would block, stab, and let's say he blocked that, boom. So there's just so much you could do. And what's cool about, you know, like if I was practically fighting somebody, I'd like to have two lightsabers first of all, and I would be using all parts of my body. That's something you don't really see much in Star Wars movies. They did introduce it in Force Awakens. Rey, after she was in a clash with Kylo Ren, she kicks Kylo Ren. Okay, so that's a nice mix of doing martial arts, you know, mixed martial arts and lightsabers together, and that's something that I would like to do. So let's say, for example, we're back here blocking. What I can do, push up and do a back kick. So here, push up, and not even just a side back kick, but I could even do like one of those capoeira spinning kicks, right? So I block here, do like a spinning kick, and there's just so much you can do. So even if I were to open up a fight, right, let's say I'm ready to fight, ready to go, and while I come in, I could just either go full onslaught with my lightsabers, or I could go in looking like I'm about to hit with my lightsabers, go in for a knee. You can go in for a kick, or you could even go with the back of your lightsaber, or the hilt side of your lightsaber, looking like you're about to attack here, and then hit them with that. That's more for show, because if you're gonna take the time to hit them with any kind of forward motion, you might as well hit them with the saber side instead of the blunt side. But it does look cool, and you can always follow up with the saber side after that. So you could hit them like that, and then like that, which I like doing that a lot. It looks cool. So boom, 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 boom. Alright guys, we're at 33 minutes now, so I think I'm going to end it here. It was a lot of fun. It's a nice little workout, and I hope you guys like this. We had a nice amount of viewers today, even though it's a little bit of short notice. I apologize for that, but it's a lot harder with my new schedule, trying to put out these videos, and it's hard for me to plan out well in advance. So I hope you guys don't mind these live videos. I hope you guys don't mind that it was a little bit short notice, but I thought it would be a nice little surprise for you guys. And this is also a video that you can watch later, so even if you can't catch it live, you can still watch it later on. And I hope you guys learned a little bit something, and if you haven't, please review the video. Really, practice makes perfect. It's really the truth, and not only watching it, but getting up and practicing it as well. Doing both is really going to help you get there. And this is really like just a lot of repetition, to be honest. So if you're trying to get those cool spins down, you just got to keep practicing. And if you don't have two lightsabers, then you can always practice with one, switch sides, practice with the other, and then once you get your second one, you can practice with both. But anyway, I'm rambling on. We're at 35 minutes. Thank you guys for watching. I'm sweaty, but thank you guys again for your support, and I'll see you on May 4th. I'll post a video for May 4th for you guys for Star Wars Day, but may the Force be with you always, my young Padawan.